Hey, what's up, Amelia here? Let's see what's making news. Statues of some well-known historical figures have been torn down, mostly in the UK, but in other parts of the world too. Protesters say the statues are symbols of racism, but not everyone agrees removing them is the answer. Here's Charlotte.
There's something happening around the world at the moment where statue after statue after statue is disappearing. You see, these historical figures are actually really controversial. It all started in Bristol in England when this statue of Edward Colston, a 17th century slave trader, was torn down by protesters, stomped on, dragged through the streets and tipped into the river. It soon sparked similar protests all over the world, like in Belgium, the US, and even here in Australia. Protesters say these figures all showed support for slave trading or other racist acts when they were alive, and think they shouldn't be put on a pedestal in our culture today.
It was an insult to the people of colour, black people. And so today, finally, to find that this statue has been pulled down is symbolic, it's a victory, and for the ancestors and the people whose lives have been affected by slavery, this is a victory today. So it's very symbolic, and I'm glad it's happened in my lifetime.
While some say that vandalism isn't the right way to go about changing things, and that it's important to remember our history, others reckon the statues might be better off somewhere like a museum, where people can learn from the past and recognise how our history's changed over time.
Now, here's some great COVID news for you. Australia's had its first day since the pandemic peaked with 0 new local cases. Go us! There were 2 new coronavirus cases reported, but they're both from travellers who are now in quarantine. Getting a letter or a card in the mail can really make your day. Oh, Nat Kelly. Oh. That's the idea behind the letterbox project. It's helping young people connect with older Aussies who are finding life a little lonely in isolation.
There's something really special about getting a letter in the post, like this one that I got from my cousin Daisy.
That's what the letterbox project is all about.
I'm writing this because I hope you feel better after this pandemic.
Dear Ivy, my name is Charlotte. I am in Year 4. I live with my mum, dad and sister.
Charlotte's mum actually started it.
It's a free platform and it's open for everybody, but we've got a particular focus on senior Australians, people with disabilities, chronic health conditions, or that live alone.
That includes people like Margaret and Rhoda.
Dear Margaret, my name is Gabby.
Margaret has been in lockdown due to the pandemic, so she's missing her family.
I hope you are doing well through this tough time and get to see your family soon.
I wanted to make their day happier, like they're getting a letter from a nice person that's put a lot of time into it.
I want them to get encouraged that this will end.
And after all this is over, these guys are gonna keep sending letters.
She'll become part of my life. It made me feel really, really nice.
Warm wishes, Rockland. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? That's lovely.
Now, speaking of octogenarians and beyond, this next segment is dedicated to the senior, the mature, the more experienced amongst us. We'll call it old people stuff. Meet Alphonse, a sprightly 103-year-old. Yes, 103. He's doing 10 laps a day around his backyard this month to raise money for healthcare in his home city of Brussels in Belgium. Alphonse was inspired by UK legend Tom Moore, but he's got 3 years on Tom and no walking frame. Not that it's a competition, of course. Traditionally, people get a letter from the Queen on their 100th birthday, but Prince Philip, aka the Queen's husband, will have to wait 1 more year to hear from his wife. He's just turned 99 and celebrated with the release of a new photo from lockdown. Well, isn't that nice? And I'm sure Prince Philip would have had a tea to celebrate, but maybe not a, quote, British tea made by these Americans on TikTok.
So fill our mug with water, put it in the microwave, set it for a minute.
Of course, some Brits were outraged and responded accordingly.
Okay, so this is how British people actually make tea. You boil your kettle, you place a tea bag in the mug, pour water over that tea bag, let it sit for like 2 minutes, pour a little milk in.
Oh, you're still here? Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go so you never miss out on seeing another episode of Newsbreak.